The insurance buying process is broken. The scenario I'm about to describe has likely happened to your company, perhaps many times, costing you a lot of money in insurance premiums. Now, a turning point in my career came many years ago during my time as a broker, while working on the insurance renewal for a very large manufacturing account, one whose name you probably would recognize. Here I won't name the client, but I will call the account Superior Manufacturing. I had done very good broker work for Superior Manufacturing for 2 years in a row because the account had suffered many large claims. And despite this, we had negotiated very competitive insurance programs despite the loss history. Preparing for the third renewal year, I did what most good brokers do. At the 90-day mark prior to expiration, I ran out to the client's office with the goal being to convince the client not to allow in any other brokers to compete with me on the upcoming renewal. I succeeded. The CEO for Superior Manufacturing told me that we had done a very good job in the past and that he would not allow any other brokers in competition this year. I thanked him and I raced back to the office. Once I got back to the office, since we did not have any competition from other brokers, I went to my clerical assistant and told her to, quote, flood the market, unquote. Flooding the market is a commonly used tactic in the insurance industry. In fact, it's a very common phrase. And it means to send an application to as many insurance companies as possible. Now, to understand this phrase, first consider that in the property and casualty insurance world, every insurance company will work with only one broker on any one single account during any 12-month period. By flooding the insurance marketplace, a broker can protect himself from competition. Every insurance company that receives an application from one broker will not work with any other broker if another application shows up later for that same account. Once protected from competition by flooding the insurance marketplace, a broker can take advantage of another business practice common in the property and casualty insurance world. And that is, whether an insurance company provides a quote for one account for one broker or declines to quote at all, that same insurance company will then not release a quote for any other broker if a later application shows up for the same business. As you can see, when a broker has no competition from other brokers, it is just as much in the interest of the broker to receive a quote or a declination of quote from any particular insurance company, because either one will eliminate the potential for any competition from that insurance company should another broker succeed in persuading the client to allow that new broker to compete for the business. Since insurance companies that decline to quote benefit the incumbent broker by eliminating the possibility of competition from that insurance company, there is an inherent incentive to send out applications that will actually elicit declinations. It takes the broker far less time to complete a weak application as it takes to complete a strong, persuasive application. And since the broker cares little about whether most insurance companies decline to quote or provide a quote at all, a poor application does the trick. As a result, brokers often do not care about the quality of the application that goes out to underwriters when they are flooding the market. As we explain in a later video, the quality of the application is actually critical for receiving competitive quotes or any quotes at all. And we have never met a client that actually saw their entire application before. This was the case for me with this renewal of Superior Manufacturing. I was not asking the clerical assistant to be careful with the information that she was sending out to insurance company underwriters, and she fully understood the process, as this is very common in the insurance industry. She understood our motivation was not to obtain as many quotes as possible, but to make sure that we had no competition from other brokers. Once we felt that we were protected from competition because we had flooded the market with applications, we were now relieved of having to work hard to convince any insurance company to actually quote the insurance at all. In fact, we had a built-in incentive to persuade underwriters not to quote the business. Consider that insurance company underwriters are sensitive to how many times they quote for any particular broker or brokerage firm. If one underwriter produces several consecutive quotes for a broker, and all of those quotes fail to result in a written insurance policy for that underwriter, the underwriter will then burn out for that particular insurance broker or brokerage firm. Keep in mind that an underwriter can spend 1 to 4 hours underwriting one single account. It is a significant time-consuming process. As a result, there is pressure on brokers to refrain from obtaining quotes. At times, Insurance companies will visit insurance brokerage firms and complain about the quote-unquote hit ratio with that brokerage firm, meaning the number of accounts written compared to the number of accounts quoted by the underwriter. So, when a broker has no competition from other brokers, there is a very strong incentive not to bring in any additional quotes. As a result, for Superior Manufacturing, what happened is what often happens. When it came time to propose the actual renewal, we listed in our proposal over 10 insurance companies that had declined to quote. This did not bother us at all, and in fact, this is often the way business is handled in the property and casualty insurance world, especially when there is no competition from any other brokers. We received the renewal quote from the incumbent insurance company, who we shall call here ABC Insurance Company. The renewal quote was comparable to the expiring premium, around $200,000. As usually happens, the ABC Insurance Company had long ago asked me if I had competition from other brokers, and I had told the underwriter that I did not. The understanding was then clear. He expected that I would renew the account with ABC Insurance Company, and that if we did not have any competition from other brokers, he would be very upset with me if I moved the account away from them at renewal. I knew if I did this in the future, I would have a very hard time with this underwriter on other accounts. The other understanding was this. Because I didn't have competition from other brokers, I was under no incentive to actually push very hard on the premium. I could now allow the underwriter to charge basically what the underwriter wanted to charge. Leverage works both ways. Sometimes, a broker puts pressure on the underwriter to lower the premium and improve the coverage terms. At other times, the underwriter must win, and this was one of those times. By allowing the underwriter to renew at a premium that was close to what the underwriter wanted to charge, I improved my relationship with that underwriter. In anticipation of working with the underwriter in the future on other accounts where I might have competition from other brokers, or where I needed the broker to stretch on a piece of new business, I allowed the underwriter to charge what they wanted for Superior Manufacturing this year. However, we had a bit of a problem with Superior Manufacturing, as we were now in the position of having nothing but declinations to quote from various underwriters and only one renewal quote to show the underwriter. So, I got on the phone and I called another insurance company underwriter who was a friend of mine. Let's call this insurance company underwriter's company XYZ Insurance Company. I asked my friend if the application he had received from Superior Manufacturing had actually been reviewed. He said he had seen it but not really reviewed it. This didn't surprise me at all, as he had also asked me previously if I had competition from other brokers on this account this year. I told him I had not, and he understood the situation. He understood that I was almost certainly going to renew the account with ABC Insurance Company. So he didn't want to put in a large amount of effort in underwriting the account if he had so little chance of actually writing the business. So in this case, I asked XYZ underwriter, gee, you wouldn't be below, say, $250,000 in premium on this account if you quoted, would you? We both understood the situation. It was highly likely I was going to renew the account with ABC Insurance Company no matter what, and so neither he nor I wanted him to work very hard on Superior Manufacturing. The XYZ underwriter responded, no, I would be north of at least $275,000 in premium. We both knew he hadn't analyzed the account thoroughly. And in the language of the business insurance trade, he was simply helping me fill out the spreadsheet of quotes. I could now show the client another, quote, indication of pricing, unquote, that was much higher than the renewal number with ABC Insurance Company. And I also maintained a good relationship with all the other underwriters for future accounts. As you will see in later videos, nobody knows what the winning premium will be if there is true broker competition. However, there is almost never true competition, as we explain. Now, after putting together the renewal proposal for Superior Manufacturing, I went out to see the client and I showed him the results. I told him he was very fortunate that the incumbent insurance company, ABC Insurance Company, was actually hanging in there with Superior Manufacturing with a price that was close to expiring. Since the only other alternative we had was an indication of pricing north of $275,000, plus many declinations from other insurance companies, I told the client that we were fortunate that ABC Insurance Company was hanging in there. The client was actually enthusiastic in thanking me, and I left the office with a renewal order. It was a beautiful Friday afternoon, a sunny day, but driving back to the office, I felt terrible. The client's impression of what had happened on the renewal process was 180 degrees different from the truth. We really had not worked hard to obtain alternative quotes, and we had no idea if we could have obtained a quote that was more competitive than ABC Insurance Company's renewal offering. The client thought just the opposite had happened. The client was happy, and I had the renewal order, but I had totally misrepresented to that client what had really happened behind the scenes. Now, if you are an insurance buyer, this scenario has almost certainly happened to you. And how much do you think you have overpaid for insurance as a result?